Namaste, welcome everyone. Assalamu alaikum, Sat Sri Akal, welcome everyone. So our practice today, I'm going to continue with the pink moon in April because the lunar energy kind of is strong for about 3 days when we have a new moon or a full moon. So we'll work with that. And it was the most glorious, most radiant, most luminous supermoon. And I hope that you all caught a glimpse of it, and more than a glimpse of it, bathed in its moon rays. So we'll work on this theme of radiance, illumination. Closing your eyes. And bringing your thumb to your ring and little finger, extending your peace fingers, that's your middle and index finger, and palms face up on your knees. Softening your gaze. And that means let the outer edges of your gaze blur, out of focus, relaxing your eyeballs. Ground down through your sit bones, your hips and your pelvis, your legs, your feet, and the connection with the earth. Imagine that you have a golden or a silver thread running along the length of your spine. And draw that thread up at either end. One end up towards the sky, the other end down towards the earth. Our mudra is Prana Mudra. This is the inspiration, the inhalation of life force, of vital energy. So drawing in from the light of the sun reflected on the moon. This more intelligent, more intuitive energy from the moon. The mantra we're going to chant today is the Bija Mantra for Chandra, the seed mantra to honor the vibrations of lunar energy. And the vibrations of the sounds as you make them will stimulate, activate the subtle energy, this deep intelligence, this inner sight, intuition that we all have. And it is from this point that we flower out, the point from which the light shines out. We'll do call and response 3 times. And if you wish to connect with a mantra or an intention in your own home language, you are invited to make that choice. Drawing on all of the qualities of intuition, insight, deep intelligence. Inhale fully. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. So together. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Feel the sound vibrations within the cave of your mouth as you make these sh sounds. these seed sounds. Together. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Final round. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Together. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Meditate on the shimmering brilliance when we connect with our intelligence, our emotional intelligence. When we connect with our intuition, our inner knowingness, our insight. And this, by being guided by this radiant light from within, this illumination from within, it can help us clear our mind, clear our energies, clear anything that may be preventing us from moving forward with our dreams, our aspirations, our hopes. It will help to illuminate, help us to reflect and understand where we may be creating obstacles, where we may be experiencing obstacles, so that we are able to identify where we need to create change in order to be radiant, in order to shine, in order to sit within the essence of our true nature, our faith, our courage, our intelligence. Opening your eyes. Let's take your arms out wide. Have them parallel to the earth. Take a moment here, spiral your palms face up. Inhale, let's shift over to the left and then to the right. So start the movement at the base of your spine, as if you are a pendulum swinging from one side to side. And perhaps each time you go from side to side, reach a little bit further. Your arms can be straight and extended, or they can be soft with a bend in the elbow. I've had my second vaccine today, so my arm is a little, well, I had it yesterday, so my arm is a little sore. And you may notice that I take extra care of my arm today. One more here, just gentle side to side sway. Let's bring the right hand to the earth and reach up and over with the left arm. Take 3 breaths here. And as you breathe in, connect with this inspiring breath, this inspiration. Inspire. Inhale through center, left hand or forearm to the earth. Reach up and over with the right arm. Again, 3 breaths here. Imagine in your mind's eye that you're drawing in a breath that is illuminating, that will help you shine a light where you need in your deepest self. This time, as we reach over, we're going to take the right hand behind us, left hand to the left knee, right knee, sorry, and gaze over our shoulder. 3 breaths here. Each time you take a breath, perhaps connect with an intention or a dream, a hope. Inhale through center. Let's swing the arms around. Left hand behind you, right hand on your left knee. Gaze over your shoulder. Again, drawing in that breath. So for me, to help with my breathing, it helps me to visualize in my mind a light or a breath that has this swirl of light to it. Perhaps a silver, a touch of silver, a touch of pale rose. Or perhaps a hint of yellow. Anything that helps you to feel inspired. back to center. Let's take a moment here. I'm going to invite you to come into Parvatyasana. So bring the soles of your feet together and then draw your heels in towards you as close as they come. And then open out the soles of your feet as if they're the pages in a book. And then very gently closing the pages of the book as you bring your knees up, opening them as you take your knees out. So if it helps, you can keep your hands on your ankles. You can have your hands, I like to place my thumb in just at that mound of the big toe and between the second toe. And I like to press there so as a sort of a bit of reflexology. And one more here, Parvatyasana, Parvati, the divine deity. Take a moment here. Let's swing our legs around, moving carefully and with care. Take your legs underneath you. We're going to come into an open heart pose. So we'll sit on our knees here. Check how you feel. I invite you to bring a folded blanket for underneath your knees or for the underside of your thighs. Or you can place a rolled up blanket on the inside of your ankles. So you can see that my ankle, inside of my ankles opens quite widely. Some of us have less space here because we might have sort of more kind of stiff joints here, or kind of might be having an injury here. So it helps to place a rolled up blanket on the inside of our ankles. Even if you can sit with your inside of your ankles directly on the earth, having a blanket just eases and softens that sensation, that experience. Take a moment here. Let's draw our hands back behind us. Walk them as far as we can. And then walk the little fingers in towards each other so that our shoulder blades come together. Lift through your heart space here. So I'm wearing a bit of a baggy top, so you can't really see, but if I lift it up, you can see that I'm gently dipping my lower back and then reaching my heart space forward. Lift your gaze towards the sky. Lift your chin so there's a soft opening at the throat. What you don't want to do is throw your head all the way back, because your head will feel very heavy and uncomfortable. And so we just want to keep a gentle lift to our gaze. Breathe in here to the fullness of your heart, the fullness of this pink supermoon. I don't know whether to call it a pink supermoon or a super pink moon. Switch between the two. And now from here, let's walk our hands all the way forward, as far forward as they can. Come, bring our abdomen to rest on our thighs here. Come up high onto your finger pads so your palms are lifted. Your crown is reaching forward. Your tailbone is reaching back here. Connect through the big toes of your feet. My eyebrow center is slightly lifted from the earth because I want to create length. As if I'm a beam of light itself. Om, Shraam, Shreem, Shraum, Sa. That's Sa. And when you say that Sa sound, as if you're sighing to release that light, to release that energy. Chandraya is invoking the deity of the moon, Chandra, moon. Namaha, I invoke, I call to, I invite in. It's an invocation. Namaha. One more breath here. Bring your forearms to the earth, lift your tailbone, walk your knees back here. Now, you can come as deep with your heart towards the earth as you wish. Anahatasana, melting heart, tailbone lifted here. You can place a cushion underneath your heart. You can keep your knees very close to your body, or you can extend your arms even further away and bring your eyebrows center to the chin, to the earth. Perhaps you bring your chin to the earth. If you bring your chin to the earth, see how that feels at the back of your neck, because that for me feels uncomfortable. And I prefer to bring my eyebrows center to the earth or onto a cushion. I'm stretching out through my armpits. Again, visualize here perhaps the arrow that passes through the heart, that arrow of love fired by Cupid from his bow. Inviting a color that resonates with you, silver, gold, pink, that soft rose. This linear pose, this linear length with your arms, really that forward movement, that movement of light that reaches out. Shining a torch, shining a light. One breath here. Walk your hands back towards you. Come onto your hands fully. Arms, wrists, elbows, and shoulders aligned. Knees underneath your hips. You can have your toes tucked or untucked, yogi's choice. Take a moment here before we begin to wave through our spine, starting the movement at the tailbone as if it's a ripple effect through the length of your spine. Perhaps you think about the ocean waves here. Now, we know that the connection of the moon to the movement of the seas, the oceans, the tides is powerful. Imagine that movement of the length of your spine is the interplay, the interaction between the moon and the oceans. Inhaling to lift your tailbone, shine your heart, lift your gaze. Exhaling to round through the spine, tucking your tailbone, rounding through the back, parting your shoulders away from each other, tucking in your chin. Sequence of cat-cow. Coming to stillness, let's take a moment. Extend out that right leg long. Tuck the toes. Take a moment, draw the left fingertips up to the sky. Bring your hands into your Prana Mudra, thumb connected with ring and little finger, index and middle finger pointed. So it feels like an arrow. Turning at the torso, perhaps you slide your hand across your torso to open your heart even more up towards the sky. Radiate here. Radiate light of love. One breath here. Now let's bring that left hand to the earth. Let's walk this right foot all the way across so that we bring it onto the earth on our left side. So we're crossing at the thighs here. The right foot moves over to the left. We tuck our toes. And what you'll feel here is a lateral stretch on the right side. You'll feel a twist at the torso, particularly on your left side. So this is a twist and an extension of the spine. Take a moment here. See if you can find your balance here. If you can find your balance, float your arm out to the side. So shift your weight onto the right hand. If that feels too tricky for you, then keep that left hand on the earth. Point it straight out so it comes out to the side. If you wish, you can reach up. This is going to challenge your balance here. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Walk that right foot back, stretch out long. And from here, my yogi friends, we're going to walk that right foot all the way out to the right. And so bring the sole of that foot to the earth or have the big toe side on the earth. So that your right leg, if I turn around, then you'll be able to see me, my lovelies. There you go. So your right foot is out to the side now and to the right side. Take a moment here. We're going to have the option of staying on our hands here. We have the option of coming onto our forearms here. You choose. And I'm also going to give you the option of threading this left arm across the midline over to the right. So if you wish to explore that, you can be up on your hand and then thread that arm through and then bring your left ear and shoulder to the earth. You can bring that right forearm to the earth. You can extend that right arm, have your fingers cupped. So this is more of a twist. So remember when we're in table and we do the threading the needle, this is threading the needle with right leg extended out to the side, left hand underneath. Right forearm can be on the earth, or you can extend your right arm and have your fingertips connected with the earth, palm high. One breath here. And remember, underneath your left shoulder, left ear, you can always place a cushion or a folded blanket. One more here. Rise up onto your right hand and your left hand comes out from underneath you back onto the earth. Bring in this right knee and let's sway the hips from left to right. Perhaps you circle them. I'll turn around so you can see me again on this side. Circle them one way, then the other way. And let's practice this on the left side now. So reach out the left leg longer. Tuck the toes. So you feel an extension down the back of the left leg. Open out your right arm to the sky. And perhaps you help your rib cage turn over and up to the sky. Heart is open here. Deep twist at the torso. Right arm reaching up, lift your gaze. If it feels too much with that left leg extended, you can always bend into your knees and bring it closer to you. So you could just go into a less extended twist. One breath here. Take a moment. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Let's walk the left leg all the way over to the right. So we cross at the thighs. Keep the toes tucked so you're on the ball of your foot. Take a moment here. So remember here we now have the choice of shifting our balance. Let's shift the weight into the left hand and then we can begin to reach the right arm out to the side or keep it reaching up. Yogi's choice. See what feels comfortable for you here. Remember the right arm can be out parallel or reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Let's walk the left leg all the way out to the left now so that our hip, knee and ankle are extended directly out to the side. Come onto the sole of your foot or come onto the inside edge of your big toe. And we're going to thread the right arm underneath us. So you can stay on your hands, you can come onto your forearms here. It's like we're playing Twister today. While we're doing all of this sort of churning movement where we're twisting up the torso, it's almost like the churning of the ocean. And it's by churning that we can bring up the sediment, that we can begin to find the pearl at the bed of the sea. Inhale, let's thread that right arm underneath the left. Your right ear and shoulder can come to the mat. Left forearm can stay on the earth, or you can extend that left arm long. So it's the variation of threading the needle. Left leg out, right arm threaded through and underneath the body, over towards the right, left, sorry. One more breath here. And then let's bring the left hand in if it's reached out. Bring the right hand back to the earth. Bend into this knee. And then let's circle the hips one way, then the other way. And let's rise back onto our feet, tucking the toes, coming into mountain. Sway your hips. Bring alternate heels to the earth. And bend deeply into your knees to help you do this. Take your hands wide as your mat, index finger pointing forward, all of your other fingers fanned out, and then claw through your hands as if you've got tiger paws, so that you bend into the middle knuckles and you can grip through the finger pads and the knuckle at the palm here. Walk your hands back towards the back of the mat to your feet. Let's heel toe your feet so they're hip distance wide. Relax your crown. Soften your shoulders. And then inhale to slowly uncurl your spine to rise up one vertebrae at a time to standing. And then quarter turn on your mat so that you can face the long edge of your mat. So check that you have the space on the right hand side of your mat. We're going to work our way into that space. So coming into your standing mountain Tadasana, feet can be hip distance wide, or you can have your big toes touching and the gap between your heels. Open out your fingers, come into your Prana Mudra. Your Prana Mudra, thumb connected with ring and little finger. Peace fingers extended, that's your index and middle fingers. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears and slide them down and away. Take a moment here. I'll just move over to the center so you can see me. Ground down through your feet, lengthen through your spine. Open your heart space, draw your shoulder blades together. Chin parallel to the earth. Inhale, hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. So Anjali Mudra is where you have a little gap between your palms, where your thumbs, the tips of your fingers and your little fingers are connected. So it looks like namaskar or prayer hands, but with a soft opening, like a bud or a seed. We're going to do Padma, prayer wheel, lotus prayer wheel. So open out your fingers here, middle fingers, thumb and little fingers stay connected with the opposite. Middle fingers open out so you create a flower here. Gaze into the flower, connect with your intention. Radiance, illumination, clarity, inner insight, inner sightedness. Om Shraam, Shreem, Shraum, Sa, Chandraya, Namaha. Inhale, bring your fingertips down towards the earth, thumbs connected so you create a V shape. Bring the backs of the fingers and hands together in towards the heart. Rotate by opening out the backs of the palms so that you bring your palms facing you like a book. Then come back and join your thumbs. So you've got a book here like this, and then you bring your thumbs together so you create the lotus wheel again. And we're going to continue like this all the way up and all the way down. So from lotus, Padma, to Anjali. Rotate your fingertips down, index and thumbs connected, backs of hands together, open out into a book, the pages of a book, lotus flower, Anjali. And we'll do that one more time. So once you put all of those movements together, you can rotate from Anjali, Padma to the crown, and then back down towards your heart. It doesn't matter if you notice that you miss one thing out. It doesn't matter. We're rotating back to the heart to come back to Anjali. Now you've got the flow of it. Let's practice that once more, chanting your mantra, your intention, your affirmation, whatever it is you wish to connect with. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. One more time. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Take your right foot behind you. Come onto the ball of your foot. Bend into your left knee. Inhale. Take the right arm up and over. Left hand curls in front of you. So you swoop up the earth with your left forearm, almost creating this sort of circular shape where your hands aren't together. And then back the other way. Let's do both ways. Bend into your knees deeply. Left arm reaching over. And you should begin to start feeling this into your left thigh. You're on the ball of your foot. If you wish, you can always bring that right foot directly to the earth, but that will increase this corkscrew effect around your hips. So see how that feels. Experiment. Now open out to the center. Star pose, Tarasana. Take a moment here. Bend into your knees. Come into Utkarta Konasana or Devyasana. Bending your knees, toes turned out, elbows at an angle. Take a moment here. Star pose. Turn the right toes towards the top of the mat. Hinge over to the right with your right arm as far as you can go. Have a little soft bending in that right knee. You're moving into Trikonasana triangle pose. This left arm can stay out, or you can bring it to your hips for balance. And then hinge and reach down with your right fingertips onto your block, onto your leg, onto the earth. Turn the heart. So take your hand and scoop your rib cage up so that you open up your shoulder to the sky. Left hand on your hip or reaching up. Trikonasana, triangle pose, heart open. One breath here. Exhale, turn your gaze down towards your right foot. Bend into your right knee and bring this left hand down towards the earth. Take your hands either side of your right foot. Bend into that knee. You might do a little swap, little hop with that left foot. Turn the toes so that you're at a 45-degree angle. Here, you might need your footstool or your blocks or fingertips on earth, or you can have fingertips resting on your thigh. You can have your hands resting on your thigh. What we want to do here for the moment is to be folded over this right leg. Allow the crown to hang down towards the earth. We're in pyramid pose. Uttanasana. Now bring your hands to the earth or your blocks if you wish, or move them slightly higher up your leg. Reach your crown forward. Tailbone back so that you're halfway. Bring your hands at your heart in Anjali. Inhale, press into your right foot. Perhaps you bend into your right knee. Rise up to standing pyramid. Inhale to lift your gaze up towards the sky. Draw your shoulder blades together. Now your hands can stay here in Anjali at the heart, or you can open them to Padma, or you can prayer wheel up towards the sky behind you, and then back towards your heart. There's a lot going on here. The weight is shifting back into that right leg, the outer edge of that right foot. Maintain that connection with the right foot so that you still feel strong through both legs, even though the weight is shifting back. Take a moment here, bend into that right knee. I'm going to ask us to do a little Virabhadrasana 3. So we're going to hop onto that Come onto that left wall. Hands can stay at the heart in Anjali, or you can bring them directly to the earth. Lift that left leg off the earth. Hands on something, on a wall, on furniture, on blocks, or on the earth, or hands at the heart in Anjali. Crown reaching forward, left leg reaching back. You can have a soft bend or a deep bend in that right leg. Micro adjustments are being made with the sole of your right foot and your toes. Open out your hands into Padma if you wish. Reach forward. One breath more. And then release the hands back to the heart. Find the earth behind you with your left foot. And come back into standing pyramid. Take a moment here. Turn the right toes forward. Turn the left toes forward. Open out into star pose, Tarasana. Fingers in your Prana Mudra. So open out the heart here. Bend into your knees. Turn your toes out. So you come into Utkata Konasana. Utkata Konasana, sorry. Or Devyasana. Take a moment, come back into star pose. Turn the left toes towards the bottom end of your mat. We're going to hinge over to the left for our Trikonasana triangle pose. So again, you may want to block here so that you can bring your left hand onto your block. Your right hand can reach forward and then up, or you can bring your right hand to your left. Sorry, right hand to your right hip. Left hand towards the earth. When you're ready, take your hand, scoop your rib cage so that you turn your heart space up towards the sky. You can reach up and over with your up towards the sky with your right hand. Coming into your variation of Trikonasana, triangle pose. Remember, you can be in different places here. Have a soft bend in that right knee. Turn your gaze down towards your left foot. Bend into your left knee and bring your right hand to the earth. Left hand goes to the outside edge of your little foot. Take a moment here, and then hop that right foot so you come a little bit wider on your mat, coming into your pyramid pose. Left toes pointing forward, right toes at a 45-degree angle. And again, hands can be on blocks here, on furniture. You can have your hands on your legs. Have a deep or shallow or soft bend in that left knee. Fold forward here so that the crown is reaching down. Inhale halfway. So reach the crown forward, reach the tailbone back. Spine is long here. Hands at your heart in Anjali. And then keep going all the way up to come up to standing mountain. Lift your gaze. So remember to reconnect with that front foot, because we will automatically shift all our weight to the outer edge of that right foot, and that's okay, but we still want to keep our balance. So we want to make sure we're still connected through that left foot. Perhaps you feel through all your toes, the earth below you. Lengthen through the front of your body. Draw your shoulder blades together. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Lift your chin ever so slightly. Lift your gaze. See how this feels for the back of your neck. You want to make sure that you could put an apple there or a tennis ball there. Gazing up towards the pink moon in the sky. You can bring your hands into your lotus prayer wheel here. Reaching overhead. Back towards your heart. Or you can keep your hands moving from lotus into Anjali, just at the heart, without taking your wheel overhead. One more time. Back to the heart. And this time bend into that left knee. Begin to reach forward with the crown. Come onto the ball of your right foot. Hop that right leg up. Coming into your variation of Virabhadrasana 3. Hero pose, warrior 3. Remember, hands can be on the wall here. Right toes can be on the earth, hands on the wall. Hands can be on blocks, furniture. Hands at the heart. Various options for you. If you have your hands available, you can open out your lotus, reach forward. One breath here. Now bend into your left knee, find the earth with your right toes. Lower that heel to come back into standing pyramid Purvottanasana. Take a moment here, and then let's turn the left toes forward, coming back into Tarasana star pose. Hands in your Prana Mudra. One breath here. Let's step over to the right side of the mat now. So this will be the top of your mat. Take a moment. This time, let's take the left foot behind us. Bend into your knees. Remember, you can also bring the sole of the heel of that left leg down. But that gives you less mobility in your left leg. So see what you wish to do here. Maybe there's a little gentle spring for you. Or there's a corkscrew twist. Let's take the left arm over, right arm in front of our abdomen and sway them from side to side. And perhaps you reach over a little bit more each time. So this extension, this lateral stretch along the rib cage, the side body. Reach further with your hands. And then let's come back to center, uncross that foot by bringing the left foot back. Take a moment and then step out across your mat in Tarasana star pose. Turn your left toes up towards the top of the mat. Bend into that left knee and bring your hands to the inside of your left foot here. So your hands can be on blocks on a low footstool. Keep that right foot in a warrior stance, so 45-degree angle, right heel on the earth. Hands can be on the earth, hands on blocks, hands on a low footstool or chair. Take a moment here. Really drop down with your heart even closer to the earth. One breath here. And then let's walk our hands to the center. And we're going to swap our feet over so that we turn all the way over to the right by walking our hands along. And then drop your left heel as you get there. So you'll need to pivot by coming onto the ball of your foot and then drop your left heel. Lower your heart down. Bend deeply into the right knee. Hands are inside of the right foot. And then let's walk them all the way back to the center. Turn both feet to face forward. Hands here on the earth or on your legs. Yogi's choice. Crown reaches forward. Tailbone reaches back. Now your hands, if you wish, you can bring them down to the earth in what's called a functional forward fold. So hands on the earth, fingertips. So I'll show you from this side so you can see my hands are cupped with the palms and I'm high on my fingertips. And walk my hands as far forward as I can. My legs are wide. My spine is long. My crown is reaching down towards the earth at an angle. My tailbone is lifted behind me. My weight is shifting back into my hips and perhaps the heels of my feet. One breath here. Bend into your knees. Turn your toes out. Inhale, hands come to the heart. Anjali, open in lotus, coming into goddess, deity pose. Utkarta Konasana. Take a moment here. Shift your weight over to the left. Bring the heel of your right foot up, toes pointing up. So bend deeply into that left foot. Rotate and move over to the right now. Bend deeply into your right foot and then lift the toes of the left leg, keeping that left leg straight. Let's go from side to side. And now, if you wish, you can do your hands in a prayer wheel going from side to side. Perhaps each time you go a little bit lower. Perhaps you stay fairly high. Yogi's choice. And then one more time, over to the right, back to center, hands are reaching down, forward fold. Take a moment, then heel toe your feet even closer to come into Malasana, Yogi squat. Remember here, you can come directly to the earth and have your feet open. You could even sit on a footstool or your chair. You choose where you want to be, yogis. Hands in Anjali at the heart. If you are not using the prop, then you may find that you've got your heels a little bit lifted. If you've got your heels a little bit lifted, you can roll up your blanket and place it underneath your heels so that your heels have a little bit of support. Now let's just sort of roll through our feet from side to side. And you can do this whether you're seated directly on the earth or lifted. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. The radiant light within shines on my consciousness, my deep intelligence, my inner knowing. And I can see with clarity all of the obstacles, all of the barriers that I can clear and move and shift by penetrating with the light of this pink moon. Take a moment here, hands open into your lotus, your Padma. Gaze down into your palms, reconnect with your radiance, the shining light that is you. All of the divine aspects of your character, of your personality, of your soul. All the things that draw others to you. They can't but help gaze at you and take your wonderment in. This shimmering ball of the moon. And then when you're ready, going to release our mudra, release our hands to the earth to support us and come directly onto the earth. We'll move it into boat pose before we come down to the earth here. So hug in your knees to start with and make yourself a little ball. Wrap your arms around your shins, bring your eyebrows center to your knees. Give yourself a hug here. Soften. Show yourself some love, appreciation. Inhale to lift your gaze. Bring your hands alongside your body. Come onto your toes here. And this is where you may stay. Engage your core by drawing in your navel. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Draw your shoulder blades together. Open across the heart. So broaden out the collarbones. Lengthen through the sternum. Lift your neck. Lift your crown. Slightly lift your cheek. Hands come out, arms parallel with your hands in your Prana Mudra. This is where you may stay. Imagine you have a block between your legs that's squeezing tight. You can see you can have a little gap, hip distance feet. This is where you might stay. You might lift one leg and then the other. You might move into Nokasana, in which you lift both feet. So you might need to reposition. You can keep your hands on the earth and lift your legs. So your hands are supporting you. That feels okay. You might want to see if you can do that with both hands. And you might notice that my core is not very strong. So I'm going to, especially today, when I'm feeling a bit fatigued, lift your heart, lift your gaze, and then lift your toes. I can't really lift my toes today. And absorb the light of the moon. Encapsulate the ball of glowing ball. Hug everything in. Om Shraam, Shreem, Shraum, Sa, Chandraya, Namaha. Let's come down to the earth. Look carefully here. You might want to place a blanket underneath you if you wish. So take a moment here to realign your spine. And then hug in your right knee towards your heart. Reach up with your right toes towards the sky. So take your hands and wrap them around the back of your thigh. Flex your foot. Then let's roll the ankle, creating these circles with our ankle one way, then the other way. Now, if you have a belt handy, you can always use a belt here. So you can loop your belt around the top of your foot. A tie, a dog lead, a dressing gown belt will do the same thing. Or you can be reaching up. Move your hands down the length of your leg. You reach for your right toes with your hands. One more here, wherever you are. And now let's release that leg. Bend into the knee, bring it down to the earth. Let's windshield wiper the knees from left to right just for a moment. Hug in the left knee. Again, wrap your hands around the back of your left leg and then point and then flex that left foot. Rotate the ankle, turning one way then the other. Imagine you have the ball, the moon, balanced on the sole of your foot there. Like one of those circus tricks. If you have a belt, you can use the belt, the back of your, underneath the foot, and help you draw that left leg a bit closer to your abdomen perhaps, but keep an eye on the back of the knee, the hamstring. Keep holding that leg with your hands wrapped around the back of your left leg. Walk your hands further up the leg. Perhaps you wrap your peace fingers around the leg, around the foot, sorry, around the big toe. One more here. When you're ready, let's release that leg and lower the left foot to the earth. windshield wiper one way then the other. Now your option yogis here, we can do Supta Padma. That is a reclined butterfly. So you bring the soles of your feet together and open out your knees. Bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to your abdomen. And see how this feels with you. This sometimes can cause pinching in the lower back. So if you can experience pinching here, you can always place pillows or cushions underneath your knees. Those aren't available. Come back onto the soles of your feet, walk your feet as wide as the mat, and allow the knees to fall in together so that you're coming into this constructive rest. So you'll either have knees that are open or knees that are resting against each other. Remember, if you can feel a strong sensation in your lower back, you probably will need support underneath your knees, or you need to come up onto the soles of your feet. Take them as wide as the mat and knock the knees in together, and that will give you lots of space in your lower back. Closing your eyes here. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Om Shraam Shreem Shraum Sa Chandraya Namaha. Imagine that you are bathed here in the silver glow of the pink moon in April. Perhaps you imagine that the light in which you are bathed is a pink rose. Allow this light to reach and touch every part of you, from the top of your crown to the soles of your feet, from the tip of your nose to the ends of your fingers. The ears, the back of the head, the shoulders, your lower back, your hips and pelvis, the back of your legs, the feet, the tops of your feet, ankles, shins, knees, thighs, the hips and the pelvis, the abdomen, the rib cage, the chest, fingers, the palms, the wrists, the lower arms, the elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders, the hollow at the throat, your jaw, your chin, your lips, your nose, your cheeks, your ears, your eyes, your eyebrows, center, your crown, the whole of you bathing in this glow of the moon. Take a full breath in, inspire, inhale, draw in this glow to illuminate you from the inside out. Then begin to curl and uncurl your fingers and toes. Hug everything in. Roll on your lower back gently and then rise by rolling onto one side to come up into your Sukhasana, your easy seat, perhaps sitting on a blanket or your cushion or a block. Bring your hands together in Anjali at the heart. And let's do a prayer wheel as we chant Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Inhale to prepare. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hands at the heart in Anjali. Dhanyavad. Thank you, yogis, for joining me. Thank you so much. I'm going to say goodbye to you all.